Hey guys, if you want to be ahead in the game, especially in the IPO space, and if you want to learn something great, if you want to educate yourself, then you are at the right place. So what I suggest, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because this sort of video, whenever we upload, you will be getting the notification and you can educate yourself. So let's quickly jump into the video and try to understand what we are going to cover. We're going to talk about the IPO checklist. Okay, so there are 11 pointers which we'll be covering today. So before jumping into all the 11 pointers, let's talk about the prerequisite. So prerequisite for us is you must have ChatGPT with you, because I'm going to show you something really amazing today, where without wasting much time, you will be able to do the analysis of the IPO. Okay, and the good thing is you need the free version of ChatGPT, so you don't need to have the premium version where you have to pay some amount to them. So you don't need to have all of those. You can do all the analysis through the free version itself, which we'll be discussing towards the end of it. And the second thing is, I hope you might be having the basics of IPOs. If you don't know the basics of IPOs, then I will suggest you to go through the video which we have uploaded recently. So you should go to the previous video and learn what are the basics of IPO, because here we are going to talk more about the checklist which must be looked into before applying for the IPO. Okay, now quickly, if we try to understand one of the very important prospectus, which is called Red Herring Prospectus. Now, you might be asking, what does this Red Herring Prospectus mean? So Red Herring Prospectus is nothing but some of the document, the initial document which gets approved by SEBI before any of the IPOs. Now, if you talk about the placeholder where you can find all those IPOs, let's try to take the example of the IPOs. Okay. Now, if you'll see here, when I'm recording this particular video, we will be able to find there are a couple of IPOs which are going to come, in the market. Okay. So now, in the if you see here, if you go to any of your broker's terminal, okay, it can be any maybe Zerodha, Upstocks, or any of the broker which you use. Typically, when you go to the bids section, that is the place where you'll come to know which are the IPOs which are currently available. Okay. Now, when you see here, there are two types of IPOs you will find. One of the IPOs which are called SME IPOs, another IPOs which are the main board IPOs. Okay, now what are the difference between main board IPOs and SME IPOs? Main board IPOs are the one which gets listed in NSE and BSE, especially the exchange which we do have it. But if you see here, there are some sort of IPOs which are SMEs IPOs. So for those, we need the higher amount to take any of the IPOs. So if you see here, some of the example which I'm sharing here with all of us. So if you see here, one of these FabTech Technologies clean rooms, where it will start the minimum amount from at least 1 lakh rupees, but the normal IPOs you will be able to get it within maybe 14,000 to 15,000 rupees as of now when we are recording this particular video. Okay, now when you came to know that these are the IPOs which are going to come, or maybe these are the IPOs. However, Red Herring Prospectus is not applicable to the SME IPOs, but the process which I'm going to share with us, you will be able to use the same thing to do the analysis for SME IPOs also. Now let's take the example of some of the IPOs which are going to come. So 6th of January to 8th of January, we can see one of the IPO which is going to come, called Standard Glass Lining Technology. Now, if you want to get the IPO Red Herring Prospectus for this particular IPO, then what we can do, we can go to the SEBI website. So I'll be sharing all the links in the description section. No need to worry about it. When you go to the description section, you'll be finding all the links which I'm discussing with all of us. Now, in the SEBI website, you can go to one of the placeholder called public issues and click on Red Herring document filed with RC. So if you see here, all the recent, whichever the Red Herring documents which are filed are available over there. Okay. Now, suppose, in this case, because the same stock or the same IPO is available, so it is very easy. But in case if you're not able to find the Red Herring Prospectus, what you can do is you can copy the IPO name like this, and you can go there and you just need to key in the title and click on go. You will be able to find the RHP or the Red Herring Prospectus document. Okay. Now when you click on it, automatically it will be opening in the separate page, and from here you can download it to your local laptop. Let me go and open the PDF file. So if you see here, when I'll open the PDF file, it will look like this. It will look like this. So give me a moment. I will go to the place. Okay. So this is the way how the PDF file which will look like this. And the beauty of this particular PDF file is you will have each and every details about the IPO. Okay, because these are the disclosure which the company got to show to the SEBI before getting listed in any of the exchange. Okay, now let's quickly move to the next topic which we wanted to discuss. As I told you, these are some of the links which I'll be sharing with you on the description section. Now the good thing is, all the IPO Red Herring Prospectus format will be exactly the same. Okay, so what does that mean? That means today, if we are doing the analysis of any of the IPO, automatically the same format will be applicable to all the upcoming IPOs also, so that it would be easier for you to do the analysis for any of the IPO which are coming. So the format will remain the same. The third thing which we wanted to discuss over there is, before applying for any of the IPO, you must know what are the objectives of those IPOs. Okay, now how will you find out what are the objectives? Typically, whenever any of those IPO will be coming, there are three types of objectives will be there. The first one is called business expansion. They want to expand their business. The second thing is called debt repayment, and the third one is called they want to acquire new companies. Now, whenever we find that the debt repayment is high, in that case, that is a red flag. Okay, so we should avoid those sort of IPOs which will have a lot of debt, to be repaid based on the IPO. Okay, so where you will finding all the details, let me open the Red Herring Prospectus and I'll show you all the details. So if you go to the Red Herring Prospectus and the table of content, when you go there, automatically you will be able to find the details inside objects of the offer. Okay, so when you find here, can you see here one of the table of content called objects of offer? When you click on it, automatically you will be landing into the page, and this is the place where the company will let us know that what is the objective of this particular IPO. So in this particular case, the example which we are discussing right now, this is one of the company, by the way, the Standard Glass, the company which we are discussing right now. The company, what they want to do, they want to utilize this money for towards funding of following objectives. Okay, so what they want to do, they want to funding of capital expenditure requirement of the company towards purchase of machinery and equipment. So they want to have a lot of machinery and equipment. Okay, the second thing is they want to repayment or do the repayment or prepayment of some of the amount what is over there. Okay, they want to invest in wholly owned machinery subsidiary. They want to funding some inorganic growth through the strategic investment in acquisition and general corporate purpose. So basically what I'm going to say is, when you come to the objects of the offer, you'll come to know about what are the objectives of the IPO which are coming into the market. Okay, now the next thing is, as I told you, be very careful whenever there is a lot of retail prepayment any of the companies doing. You should avoid those IPOs because those are showing the red flag. Okay, the second thing is, whenever we go to the objects of the offer, we will be able to come to know how many fresh offers are there and what are the offer for sale. So typically, whenever any of the company, they will be listed in the the primary market, then they will move to the secondary market. There are many of the promoters, or there's many of the investors who have been putting their money on that particular company. Now, if many of the investors, they want to go out of the company, that means that might also not be a good sign for the company. Okay, so we got to see the scenarios will be looking like this. If the fresh shares are very much higher than the offer for sale, this is a positive sign for the company. Now, in case if any of the company where we will be finding that the fresh issues are very, very less as compared to offer for sale, that means it might be negative or neutral for the company. And so what I'm going to say is, less offer for sale is better. Okay, so whenever we are having the more fresh issues and less offer for sale is the good one to have that particular company. Okay, now the next details is nothing but the about company. Okay, so when you go to the industry overview, our business, and of course the our management section, that's the place where you'll come to know about the details of the company. So if you go to, let's go to the first page, and we'll moving directly to the company, the overview of the company. So when you go to the first page, the table of content, here is the place you will be finding one of the table of content called industry overview. Now when you click on the industry overview, this is the place where you'll come to know about the company, in fact. Okay, so they will be talking about what they do, in fact, what they want to do, how the growth has been, what are the businesses where they are working, and of course they will be talking about which all the countries where their business is, and so on and so forth. So they'll talk about all the details. So basically, before applying for any of the IPOs, we must know about the company. Okay, so industry overview will give us the industry trend, what are the growth potential they are having it, what are the competitive landscape they have, who are the competitors. Okay, of course our business section will tell us the key strengths about the company, and of course when you go to the management of the company, they will talk about some of the promoters and the people who are involved with the company. Okay, so if you go to the management of the company, this is a very, very important thing which we must know it. So when you go to the our management section, here you'll come to know about who are the people who have started those companies or whose money is on the stack. Okay, so in this particular company, as I'm showing you our management here, they're talking about the board of directors. Okay, these are some of the people who are involved over there, and of course the promoters and all the major investors' names will be available. Okay, now why I'm talking about all the names, because whenever you see some of the investors or the management team, you should be looking into their experience and track record also. So why we should look into the experiences and track record? Because if there are some sort of legal cases which are having in terms of which are related to the promoters, okay, or there's some sort of controversies which are going on, then those are the red flag which we must avoid before applying for any of the IPOs. Okay, now the next and very important point, which is almost similar to the one which we discussed right now, legal and other information. So when you go to one of the section called legal and other information, you will come to know about what are the litigations which are there for that particular company. So when you go to the table of content, we will be able to find the place where you can find out what are the litigations or all the legal things which are there. So this is the section. So the section is nothing but legal and other information. So when you go there, they must disclose, in fact. Okay, so whenever any of the company they will be coming to the IPO, they must share each and every litigations or the legal thing which is currently running for the company. So if you see a litigation proceeding of the company, these are the criminal proceedings and so on and so forth. So they have to share all the informations. Now, as an investor, this is the best place where you'll come to know about your company before investing, whether your company is good company in terms of the litigation and the legal information or not. Okay. Now, the seventh and very important thing, before applying for any of those IPOs, we must know the valuation of the company. Now, in terms of the valuation, what you should do, you should look into the company's financials. They will be sharing all the details in the Red Herring Prospectus itself. Then, after going through the Red Herring Prospectus, you can get some of the details, something like revenue growth year on year basis. You can get net profit margin, return on equity, and of course, debt to equity ratio. Now, in case if you are not very good in calculating those numbers, how to get all of those, don't worry. I'm going to give you the shortcut today towards the end of this particular video, where you will be able to get all the details without doing any calculation throughout the IPOs. Okay, so that's the shortcut which we'll be discussing towards the end of in this video. Now, the next one is called gray market premium. Now, what do you mean by gray market premium? GMP refers to the premium at which IPO shares being traded in the official market before listing. So there are two types of market. One are called listed markets, where the exchange is the place where you go to trade. Okay. Now, another type of market which are called unofficial market. Now you can see there are many of the websites which I'll be discussing towards the end of it, where you'll come to know about the current market of that particular IPO. Okay. It just gives the indication of the market demand, but we should not be relying completely on this GMP or the gray market premium before applying. Okay. So what I'm going to say is, we can look into this, we can see how it is going to happen, but many of the times what we have seen that GMP are very, very volatile and might not always predict the listing performance. Okay, so many of the times we have seen that GMP price fails. Okay, now we'll look into some of the website towards the end of it, where you'll come to know about what is the gray market premium of that particular company. Now the next one is called, you got to use the technology. The ChatGPT is the best thing which you can utilize to do the IPO analysis. Okay, now as we are talking about the Red Herring Prospectus, so many important pointers which we have discussed right now. What if I'll tell you, you don't need to do anything. You can write the prompts in on the ChatGPT, and the ChatGPT will give you answer about all the valuation, legal, and all the information about the company. So that's the power of the technology which you must apply. So I'm going to show you the demo right now in front of you. Let's think that as we have discussed right now, the IPO which we are talking about a little bit earlier. We have gone to the SEBI website. We have downloaded the Red Herring Prospectus. Let's try to do the analysis of the same IPO. Okay. Now, what we can do is, we can straight away go to the ChatGPT. When you go to the ChatGPT, so when you open the ChatGPT, now what we are going to do, I'm going to give you some of the prompts. Okay, so these are the prompts which I'll be sharing inside the description section. Okay, and in case if you are having the free version of ChatGPT, typically what they will allow you to upload the document 3 times in a day. And as you know that typically 1 or 2 IPOs will be there, so you will be able to do the analysis free of cost to the ChatGPT, because they will allow you to upload the documents at least 3 times in the free version also. So I'm going to show you how you can do it. So when you go to the ChatGPT, I'll be sharing this particular prompt. Then you can attach the Red Herring Prospectus, and you can go to the download. Let's attach the standard glass, the lining, the one which we are doing the analysis of the Red Herring Prospectus. For this we have downloaded. So if you can see, it is getting uploaded. Okay, and when you give this command or the prompt to the ChatGPT, so this is a very, very simple prompt where I'm asking ChatGPT to do the analysis of this particular document, and what are the parameters based on that it should analyze. I'm sharing all the information. Now when I hit enter, can you see the magic? The ChatGPT is reading the document, and it is giving us all the details about this particular company throughout. Okay, so if you see here, it talked about the objectives, it talked about what are the issue proportion, what is about the company management, financial information, legal and other information, valuation, and at the end what happened, it has also given the recommendation that what should be our strategy. Okay, so basically if you see here, what sort of recommendation it is giving us, and it is also giving us what are the indicators which we must follow follow before applying for this IPO. Okay, so this is one of the points which I'll be sharing towards the end of this particular video on the description section, so that you can come to know about it. And the good thing is, you don't need to use your brain. You can use the technology to do the analysis of the IPO throughout the course of any of the IPO which will be coming. This is a generic technique which we are discussing right now. Now the next one is called, what are the tips for applying for an IPO. So what are the tips? The first and foremost thing is, as you know that IPO is a bidding process. So more the time you will be applying, there are more chances over there. Okay, now unfortunately you cannot apply from your Demat account multiple times. Okay, so what you can do is, you can apply from the multiple Demat accounts. So typically what most of the people do is, they will be using their family members' Demat account to apply. Ultimately it is just getting the IPO, right? So many of the people, they apply from multiple family members' account, so that their bid will be accepted. Okay, and second thing is, avoid following the hype blindly. Okay, rely on the research. As we have done the research right now. Similarly, you can do the research and get the recommendation whether you should apply for the IPO or not. Okay, and always be very careful that whenever the listing happens for the IPO, there are many times the GMP might go wrong or the analysis might go wrong, but you should be ready for the listing gains and losses also. So many times the loss might also be coming into picture, so you should be ready for that. Okay, now the next one is very, very important website which I'm going to discuss right now. I'll be sharing the link towards the end of it on the description section. No need to worry about it. This is a very, very good website which is called chittorgarh.com and /IPO. The another which is called IPO Dekho in an upcoming IPO. The last one is called investorgain.com. Okay, so let me open all the website and I'll show you what are the things which you can do through those websites. Okay, so give me a moment. I'll be opening all the three websites. The first one which I've opened, the second one also, and the Investor Gain also. Now when you go through these websites, you will have the better understanding about the IPOs which are coming into the market. Okay, so if you see here, let me open the website. The first one which I have shared with you right now, which is nothing but the chittorgarh.com. So the web page will look like this. You can go and find out what are the main board IPOs which are coming. Here are the list of all of those, and when you click on the name of the company, you will be able to find the details about the company, whichever the details which we discussed right now. Each and everything you will be able to find at one place itself. Okay, now the second website which we were discussing right now is called IPOdecode.in. Okay, this is also a very, very good website. In fact, the website which is very, very popular to find out the GMP, which is nothing but the gray market price. So if you see here, when you open this website called IPOdecode.in, you can go to the IPO, you can go to the GMP. Let's think that we want to look into the GMP for the company which we are discussing right now, so which is nothing but the Standard Glass. So you can go to the stock name, something like Standard Glass, and automatically you will be able to find out what is the GMP which is currently running. Okay, so current price of the GMP is whatever the numbers are, what are the expected profit. By the way, these are again all of those numbers are hypothetical number. Okay, so these are some of the expected profit, how much it will be there. So you will be able to find the GMP price from this website which I'm showing you with all of us right now. The third website, which is a very, very popular website, is called investorgain.com. Okay, here also what you can do, you will be able to find the IPO which is being listed, whether it is SME IPO or it is from the main board. Both of those IPOs will be available. And the good thing is, when you click on can you see here the stock, the IPO which we are discussing right now, which is nothing but Standard Glass aligning IPO. Here they usually give this fire rating. So fire rating means more the fire rating, the better the IPO is. In this case, so if you will be able to find this 5 stars, okay, 5 by 5 or maybe 4 by 5, those are the good ones. And if you will be finding a 1 by 5, which might not be a good IPO to be having on your account or maybe to apply for. Okay, so these are some of the very, very important websites which you have discussed, which you must have as a bookmark if you really want to do good in terms of the IPOs. Okay, now what next? What next is very simple. Always remember one thing: you can follow the tick process. What do you mean by tick process? Tick process means whenever you are doing the analysis of any of those IPOs, as soon as you are done with those IPO analysis, you can have a tick. Tick means something like whether the objectives for that particular company is good or not. Okay, then issue proportion is good or not. About company is good or not. How about the legal information? How about the valuation of the company? How about the GMP of the company? Okay, now whenever you will be finding more the tick, the better the IPO is. Okay, so in case, let's think that any of the IPOs where the valuation is not good, so you can make it the cross, and you can give your own rating and decide whether you should apply for this IPO or not. Okay, so that's all from this particular video. Hope this one was very much useful for you to understand. So if you found this particular video useful, then please click on the like button, subscribe to this particular channel. Let me know in the comment section, what are the important pointers which you learned from this particular video, and which are the IPOs you are planning to apply for. If you want me to cover some of the important the modules or the topic or the chapters, then please share on the comment section, so that I'll be coming up with a video. I will always be there to educate you so that you can learn and grow in stock market. So thank you so much for watching this video. Happy investment, happy trading, happy learning.